Welcome to iTeachCybersecurity Academy, also known as iTCA, an online learning academy dedicated to making cybersecurity simple, useful, and practical for everyone. If you've ever felt that cybersecurity concepts were too complex, too technical, or too disconnected from real-world practice, you're in the right place. Here at iTCA, we break things down clearly, step by step, and connect every concept to how it is actually used in the field. This is the Cyber Threat Intelligence full course, and in this video, we're diving into Module 4, Operational Threat Intelligence. Let's start with a quick reality check. Many organizations are good at detecting individual attacks, a malicious IP address, a phishing email, or a suspicious login attempt. But attackers don't operate in isolation. They run campaigns, they reuse infrastructure, they adapt their methods over time. When defenders only look at isolated alerts, they miss the bigger picture. That's the problem Operational Threat Intelligence solves. In this module, you'll learn how defenders move beyond what just happened to understand what is happening over time, across systems, and across organizations. This module is for beginners, aspiring CTI analysts, SOC analysts looking to grow, security managers, and anyone who wants to understand how cyber threats are tracked, connected, and disrupted at an operational level. By the end of this module, you'll understand how tactical findings are transformed into coordinated defensive action. By the end of Module 4, you will be able to clearly explain what operational threat intelligence is, distinguish it from tactical threat intelligence, understand the role of an operational CTI analyst, explain why intelligence sharing is essential, describe cyber campaigns and major threat actor categories, and understand why threat attribution is one of the hardest challenges in cybersecurity. Let's begin with the foundation. Operational threat intelligence focuses on understanding how cyber attacks unfold over time. Instead of looking at a single alert or indicator, operational intelligence looks for patterns across multiple incidents, systems, or even organizations. In simple terms, if tactical threat intelligence asks, "What is happening right now?" Operational threat intelligence asks, "What has been happening? How is it connected? And where is it likely going next?" Operational intelligence connects indicators, attacker techniques, infrastructure such as domains and servers, and observed adversary behavior into a coherent story. Imagine seeing multiple phishing emails over several weeks, all using slightly different domains but the same writing style, the same delivery method, and the same type of malware. Tactical intelligence might block each domain one by one. Operational intelligence recognizes that all of these events are part of the same campaign. This leads us naturally to the difference between tactical and operational threat intelligence. Tactical CTI is short-term and indicator-focused. It supports immediate detection and response, typically at the SOC level. It answers urgent questions and helps analysts act quickly. Operational CTI, on the other hand, operates over a medium-term time frame. It is campaign-focused rather than indicator-focused. It supports coordinated responses and feeds into security management decisions. Tactical intelligence reacts. Operational intelligence connects, explains, and anticipates. Operational CTI gives continuity and context to tactical findings. Now let's talk about the people behind this intelligence. An operational threat intelligence analyst is responsible for tracking attacker activity over time. Instead of asking, "Is this IP malicious?" they ask, "Have we seen this infrastructure before? Is this technique recurring? And does this match a known campaign or threat actor?" These analysts correlate multiple incidents, identify patterns in tactics and infrastructure, and support coordinated defense strategies. They work closely with SOC teams, incident responders, CTI managers, and often external partners such as industry peers or government agencies. Their work helps organizations move from reactive defense to informed, proactive security. As threats grow more complex, no single organization has full visibility. This brings us to one of the most critical aspects of operational threat intelligence: information sharing and collaboration. Cyber threats are global, fast-moving, and highly coordinated. Attackers share tools, infrastructure, and knowledge across borders. Defenders must do the same. Information sharing allows organizations to detect threats earlier, learn from attacks that happened elsewhere, reduce duplicated effort, and strengthen collective defense. Simply put, no organization can defend alone in today's cyber threat landscape. Information sharing commonly occurs among industry peers, government agencies, security vendors, and academic or research institutions. However, sharing intelligence is not just about sending data. Trust is essential. Organizations must trust the accuracy of shared intelligence, respect confidentiality, and contribute in return. Without trust, sharing collapses. Despite its importance, intelligence sharing is not without challenges. Legal and regulatory constraints may limit what data can be shared. Privacy concerns can restrict the release of sensitive information. Trust and credibility issues can affect whether shared intelligence is acted upon. In addition, the lack of standardized formats can make intelligence difficult to consume. These challenges mean that Operational CTI must balance collaboration with responsibility. To support structured sharing, many sectors rely on information sharing and analysis centers, known as ISACs. These are sector-based organizations that focus on sharing threat intelligence relevant to specific industries, such as finance, energy, healthcare, or aviation. In addition, modern sharing platforms allow organizations to exchange indicators and reports in structured, automated ways. The ultimate goal is not just sharing information, but sharing actionable and timely intelligence. To make operational threat intelligence effective, it must be managed properly. This brings us to intelligence management. Intelligence collection models define what data is collected, where it comes from, and how often it is gathered. Common sources include internal logs, external threat feeds, open source intelligence, and partner reports. Collecting everything is not the goal. Collecting the right information is. This is where intelligence requirements come in. Intelligence requirements define what decision makers actually need to know. They focus analysis on priority questions, such as which threat actors are targeting a specific sector, or which attack techniques are increasing in frequency. Clear requirements prevent wasted effort and ensure intelligence supports real decisions. Effective intelligence management follows a structured workflow that includes collection, analysis, storage, dissemination, and review. Throughout this process, analysts must focus on timeliness, accuracy, and relevance. Intelligence that arrives too late or lacks context quickly loses value. With this foundation in place, let's look at cyber campaigns and threat actors. A cyber campaign is a series of related cyber operations conducted by the same threat actor over time. Campaigns often target multiple victims, reuse tools and techniques, and evolve based on what works and what doesn't. Recognizing campaigns allows defenders to anticipate future actions instead of reacting blindly. Threat actors differ in motivation and capability. Cybercriminals are typically motivated by financial gain and engage in activities such as fraud, ransomware, and data theft. Hacktivists are driven by ideological or political goals and may deface websites or leak data to make a statement. Terrorist groups use cyber activities to spread propaganda, recruit members, or cause disruption. Nation-state actors operate at the highest level of sophistication, often conducting stealthy, long-term operations for espionage or geopolitical advantage. Identifying who is behind an attack is known as attribution, and it is one of the most challenging aspects of operational threat intelligence. Attribution is difficult because attackers deliberately hide their identities, reuse or hijack infrastructure, and sometimes plant false clues to mislead defenders. Reliable attribution requires a combination of technical evidence, behavioral patterns, and broader intelligence context. Even then, attribution is rarely absolute. As we wrap up this module, let's bring everything together. In this module, you learned that operational threat intelligence focuses on campaigns and adversary behavior over time. You saw how it connects tactical indicators to broader patterns, enabling coordinated defense. You learned why information sharing is essential, how intelligence must be managed, how cyber campaigns operate, and why threat attribution is complex and uncertain. Operational threat intelligence is where cybersecurity moves from isolated alerts to strategic understanding. It is the bridge between day-to-day detection and long-term defense. If you're serious about understanding how real-world cyber defense works, this knowledge is essential. In the next module, we'll continue building on this foundation and explore how threat intelligence is applied in real operational environments. If you found this lesson helpful, make sure to continue with the next module in the Cyber Threat Intelligence full course. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to iTeachCybersecurity Academy and turn on notifications so you never miss a lesson. At iTCA, we don't just teach cybersecurity, we make it practical, understandable, and useful for everyone.